Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, January 7th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about technical analysis and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Before I get to the watch list, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering this evening. So on that note, I realize that maybe you already have something on your schedule, or maybe you're just watching this on Friday morning and you've already missed the class, but the event will be recorded and I'd be happy to email it to you after it gets recorded and uploaded and all of that. So like I said, if you already have something on your schedule or you're just watching this too late and it's Friday morning, for example, well then let me know, send me an email, clay at claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you the recording of it. But this class will go over what you're about to see in much more depth and just kind of explain its power and why it's a great tool that can help you build consistency. So if that sounds like something that could be of value, definitely get signed up. Or like I said, if you can't make it or you've missed it, just drop me an email. A couple quick clarification points before I get to the stocks. First off, I will be doing the 30-minute time frame. So if you're a beginner, all that means is each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. And then next, the market is still open for a little while longer. So you're not crazy. That candle right there will be moving as I go throughout the video. But as far as the general levels and concepts that I talk about, they will still be completely relevant as we head into Friday. But first one here, ticker symbol EAR. And I love this one. Well, yes, because it's made big movement today. It's got the ability to move big and all that. But the main reason here is that there is a very, very well-defined level here. So when I draw this area right across here at $7.70, that's not some sort of great discovery. I'm not implying that that requires a bunch of talent. I assure you, people around the world have taken notice of that level and they've drawn that line there. So that introduces in the self-fulfilling prophecy aspect of it. Does that mean that for sure guaranteed that if the price gets up to 770 and breaks through it, this thing's going to explode? Of course not. No guarantees. But is that a logical thought process to have relative to 770? Absolutely. So keep a close eye on that, especially if you're a breakout player. That is a very fascinating level. And then just from the support side of things, got some interesting stuff going on here. I mean, talk about a well-defined trend line. Look at that thing. I mean, doing a great job of just showing that after the big pullback during that opening 30 minutes, the price has slowly been creeping its way upwards, which again doesn't guarantee anything, but with the price slowly creeping upwards, it certainly makes it worthwhile to think that the price could get up there and break through the 770 mark. So definitely keep an eye on this, setup here, especially if you like stocks down below $10. Next one here, AMC, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the video I did on Wednesday, but I talked about that green line right there being a key level of support. And check it out, when the opening 30 minutes started on the day, price broke below it. Nasty move all the way down there. But to give credit where credit's due, the bull showed up very impressively, pushed the price back up above that green line, and then check it out. The rest of the day came down, but has now been finding support right at that level. So 2250-ish area. In fact, I'll adjust that a little bit now that we have a bit more data. Seems to be more accurate, right around 2225, going to be that main area of support. And that's important because it'll at least keep a higher low in place, meaning as long as the price stays above that level, you'd have a low there, and you compare that to that low right there, and you have some stair-steps now progressing in the upwards direction. So the big question right now becomes, okay, yeah, nice bounce. Is this a turnaround? Is this the start of something bigger? Well, let's just simply see if the price can make progress, and I'm defining quote-unquote make progress as staying up above that 2225 mark. So watch that closely from a support side of things. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, this trend line here that I talked about previously, still 100% in play. Got somewhat in play right there. The price didn't hit it exactly, but certainly got within the general vicinity of it. But point here being is if the price does make another move back upwards, that'll be the key battleground to watch from the resistance side of things. But all in all, nice bounce today from AMC. Next one, TSLA Tesla. And overall, like a lot of stocks, crazy movements this morning. I mean, Tesla was really just getting hammered all the way down here, but is now reversed back around, which sets up for a very interesting Friday. So what I'm going to do here is adjust a couple of these areas. So now that we have more data, the main area of support that at least I'll be watching headed into Friday going to be right there at 1060. And if 1060 is broken, from a bearish side of things, I would be very careful to rejoice because not that far down below, you do have that pink line there, which on my chart denotes the very famous 200-period moving average valued at 1045. So again, I'm not saying that the price can't break through that area, but just because, for the, people that are bearish, just because the price breaks through there, there's still more work that needs to be done because you can see right there that ultimately that pink line provided some great support earlier on in the day. So those would be those main areas of support. From a resistance side of things, yes, you still do have this overarching area of resistance right here, but from more of a near-term perspective, you have this level right here at, let's just call it 1080. I want to make sure I get that right. 1088. So 1088 will be more so the near-term level of resistance, but if that level can be broken, the next key level is up there at that trend line. Next one, ATHE. Now think back to EAR and how I talked about that self-fulfilling prophecy level and how a lot of people are probably drawing the same line. And we have that here also when I draw that line right there at $1.17. So you can see $1.17 rejected the price there, and then once again right there during the last 30 minutes. So again, does not guarantee anything, but it certainly makes it plausible to think that if the price can work its way up to that level and get the break up through it, that break in and of itself could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So keep a close eye on $1.17, just in case that's broken. Another potential stubborn area, definitely right up there at the $1.23 mark. So watch those couple levels. And then as far as supports are concerned, about as straightforward as it gets. Multiple times today, the price got down there right around that $1.05 mark. And each and every time the buyer stepped in. So keep an eye on $1.05. But overall, if you like this price range and you like well-defined levels, I'd say get this one on your watch list. Next one here, HOOD. And I like this one more so from the short side and just well-defined levels because I assure you, shorts all around the world have drawn that line right there at $15.40. Let me change that to green because as of right now, that is a level of support. And while nothing is guaranteed, it is more than valid and rational on their part that if the price does come down there and break down through there, that could create another surge of momentum in the downwards direction. But to be fair, the price has been very stubborn. It has bounced off that level. So there could very well be longs that are saying, well, I think it's going to bounce again. The one thing that those longs need to keep in mind is that the overall trend is still very, very clearly in the downwards direction. So that doesn't mean that it can't bounce from that level. It just means that, I wouldn't necessarily go all in from the long side there because you would be technically trading against the trend at that point. But like I said, I like this one just because such a well-defined level. And then, of course, in the near term, you have this downwards trend line right here. So you have this pattern where you have well-defined entries, well-defined stops from the short side of things. If you want to play the long side, again, another potential opportunity would be, if this thing comes up here and breaks through that trend line. But again, you got to be careful in those situations because you are going against the trend. So position size is definitely always going to be an important, attribute here. But overall, definitely some very, very well-defined areas. Next one here, F for Ford, and talked about this in yesterday's video and talked about the importance of risk management for this very reason here, because I made the comment about how 2350 was going to be a very important level. And check this out at the beginning. Price came down there, broke down through it. So there was people that probably went short, but there were people that were going long too. And that's why you want to always give stop loss a little bit of wiggle room because the people that went long, they did absolutely fantastic. The people that went short, hopefully they used stop losses because if they didn't, then they got absolutely roasted today. But a great example there of how somebody's always going to be right, somebody's always going to be wrong, and nobody can always be right, which is why risk management protocols matter so much. But moral of the story here from the bigger picture, 2350 remains a very important level of support as we saw from this morning. But now that, a level that definitely needs to be mapped out, that it's getting within striking distance again, right up there at 2475. So if the overall forward trend is now going to get continuation, we'll see if the price wants to, hover around down below that level and then make the move or not. But overall, very nice recovery from that 2350 mark. Not just a question of, is this trend going to continue into Friday and break to new highs? Let's see what happens. Next one, LCID, and like several of the other stocks, very impressive bounces. I think at one point the price was all the way down here and has now managed to work its way all the way up there. Very impressive bounce. But now the big question mark moving forward has everything to do with that pink and purple line, which are essentially on top of each other. Pink line being the 200 period moving average, purple line being the 50 period moving average. And, just from a general rule of thumb perspective, when the price is down below those areas, they tend to act as resistance, and which is exactly what's happening here, right? Not a coincidence that the price bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced, and all of a sudden, right at those lines, decided to start to go sideways. Now, that does not mean that the price can't get down through there, but it does bring about the very valid question of, okay, is this bounce going to continue, or is this bounce going to find some resistance here that eventually causes it to roll back over? So that'll be the big question here, but it's a good question to be asking, right? Because essentially the question boils down to, hey, is this bounce the start of something bigger? But you can't even ask that question unless something happened in the first place. So the price has bounced. Now it's just a question of, is it going to be the start of something bigger? And quote unquote, start of something bigger being defined as being able to get above those two moving averages right there. So let's see what happens with it. And these moving averages valued right around, we'll call it $38.50. Next one here, PLTR, and I'm not going to ask you to trust me. I understand I could be a complete stranger to you, and I'm not patting myself on the back either, but I am patting technical charts on the back. They're a great tool. Are they perfect? No, but they're a great tool. That's why I would say sign up for that class or drop me an email so I'll send it to you because, and this will mean more to those that watched yesterday's video, but if you didn't and you don't believe me, that's fine. Just go back in the video archive and watch the video from yesterday, and you will see that I drew that green line in there. And I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Look right where the price dropped and then bounced right from that area. Again, I'm not trying to say that charts are perfect, but are they a quality, worthwhile tool that can help or that can be used to help build consistency? Absolutely. And we have a perfect real life example of that. Like I said, all you got to do is go back and watch a video that I did on Wednesday, and you'll see exactly that. But as far as the current levels right now, have a couple of updates. Now, yes, down there at the $16-ish mark is still an area of support, but I'm going to go ahead and drop this area of resistance now as it seems to be more relevant there at the $17.10 mark, and then a more of a near-term level of support and the ideal level, meaning, what's going to make this bounce look the healthiest moving forward, and that would be if the price can stay up there above 1645. So keep an eye on those couple areas. But again, nice bounce. And now it's just a question of can this bounce continue to build upon itself and show signs of progress. Let's see if the price can, at minimum, stay above 1645. Next one here, ENSC, and we have another one of these, we'll just call it self-fulfilling prophecy levels that I assure you all sorts of people are going to be watching, and that's right down here at give or take right around $5. I mean, we'll quickly go through the history of it, but $5 rejected the price a couple of times there. Rejected the price right there. Fast forward to today, rejected the price. So while nothing is guaranteed, it is completely valid to think that if the price can work its way back up to $5 and finally get the break of it, that break could really create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure, because as this one has shown in the past, this thing can move, and it can move very, very quickly. So I'm not saying that if it breaks 5, it's going to move that quickly and shoot up to 7. All I'm saying is the potential is there. So it's rational to think that it could be moving quick, that it could move quickly. I mean, if this thing's never moved quickly before, and I'm sitting here saying, oh, this could move so fast, you'd be rational to say, well, Clay, based on what? I mean, it's never moved super fast before, but in this situation, it has. So it doesn't mean that it'll happen again, but it does make it at least a valid thought process to have. So moral of the story there, keep a close eye on $5. Next one, AMD, and like PLTR, you did this one yesterday, put that green line into place, and it wasn't nearly as perfect as PLTR, but generally speaking, price came down there, went slightly below it, and then got the bounce from it. So now it's just a question of, is this bottoming out here? So nothing has really changed. 133 still going to be that main area of support. And from an overarching level of resistance standpoint, again, nothing has changed from that point of view. Still all about 140.50. I would say, though, that if you wanted to put in more of a near-term level of resistance, very interesting level right there. So that puts the price right at, let's call it 137-ish area of resistance. So with a break of 137, then yeah, that makes 140.50 a bit more, rational to talk about. But as of right now, until the price can at least get above that trend line, I want to put too much focus on 140.50. Let's just first see if the price can prove itself in the near term, and quote unquote prove itself being defined as getting up above and staying above 137. But if the price does drop back downwards, then yeah, right around 133 is proven to be a good solid area of support. And if I squeeze this down, you'll see that, if that level cannot quite hold up, next key overarching level would then be down there right around the 130.75 mark. But as of right now, you got some very nicely defined levels. So if 137 can be broken, then yeah, at that point, let's see if 140.50 can come around the corner. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can be used, how it should be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the class. It'll be Thursday, so this evening, January 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But again, like I said at the beginning, if you already have something on your schedule or you're watching this and it's too late, it's already happened, just drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and after it's been recorded and uploaded, then I will gladly send you a link to it at that point in time. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, then let me know by leaving a comment, even if it's just telling me what you traded today, what you're watching tomorrow, and hit that like button. But those two things communicate to me that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying the top 10 watch list here, then I have no problem at all continuing to put in the time and effort, to put these videos together. So definitely get signed up for the free class or drop me an email. Everybody take care. Have a good one.